right. Happy Thursday, everyone. Today's the 29th of May. We're going to go ahead and jump into our weekly conversion clinic. I got some exciting updates to share with everyone, and then we've got some more practice, some more interactivity that we'll do around bottom funnel, mid funnel, and bottom funnel metrics. That's going to be our theme for the next several weeks here. We're still nailing it on that top funnel stuff, answering the calls, ALM. We're still way above target on those top funnel metrics. And so our opportunity that we're going to really dial in on for how we squeeze more juice from the fruit of Zillow is mid funnel, bottom funnel. So let me share my screen, show you all some stats, some exciting updates, then we'll get into it here in a sec. Okay. So I'm very excited to say we're still 2 days out from ending the month of May. Our Flex Bay Area team, and for everyone on the Stockton team joining, let this be the gauntlet that's thrown down of the threshold that you all will be passing soon, I know. For May, you're already at 175% of our production target. So we got 13 deals in contract in the month of May. Including some that came through from April that some of you pushed forward into May. And thank you for those of you who are doing that for June. I appreciate that as well. But we are way over target for the month of May. So we're looking really good. Overall, this is a 6-month average. We're just under 140% to target. That means Zillow said we need to close this many deals, and Team Fast said, hold my beer, let me get some more. And we went way above target. So what that means for us, our lead flow is up about 30 or 40% compared to 2 months ago. So there are more leads coming through, more opportunities. Who's noticed their phone ringing more often in the last couple of weeks, the last few weeks, those of you who are on Flex in the Bay Area? Anyone notice more calls coming through? No? I hope we see a few more. If you're shaking your head, hit me up because we can look at the zip codes that you're in because our lead flow, our lead volume is up about 40%. So there's a lot more lead opportunity. And I think we've added one person to the roster in the last 45 days or so, right? So there's a lot more opportunity for the same number of agents who are on the team. May, we are just under 10 million in total production, 9.75 million in total production. So if one person wants to get a $250,000 deal in contract in the next 2 days, that'd be great. We'd hit the 8-figure mark, and that'd make for a really great month there. But the most exciting thing for the month of May, if you look at this list, Kenny Trong, Team Fast, Bay Area, top of the list for all the Flex teams in the Bay Area. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, you want to put it on your socials, you guys deserve the credit. You deserve all the accolades. This has been a lot of hard work. This has been a lot of grind of getting to the top. There's a lot of teams on here in the Bay Area who are really excellent real estate teams, really excellent agents, really experienced Flex teams, but we're at the top of this list right now. We will have our numbers of our 6-month average as well, but with how we've been performing, I think we're definitely top 3 in the Bay Area, and I think we might be number 1 or number 2. So stay tuned for that. But for the month of May, we topped out the charts here, 175% to production target. So the big message Vernon wanted me to convey to everyone, one is kudos, giving you all your flowers. We see the hard work that you've put in. We see the effort. We see the energy. It's producing in terms of numbers. And as champions, we don't want to just rest on our accolades and say, all right, great, we did it. We're at the top. We are going to continue to look at what can we do to push the envelope to stay at number 1, because the things that we did to get here are not necessarily going to be the things that are going to get us to that next level and are going to allow us to continue winning. So with that said, let's go ahead and transition to wins of the week. I would love to hear from some folks who had deals get into contract this last week. And there's a few of you in the room here, I know for sure. Or anyone who had a deal close that they want to share about what that process was. And Kelly, I would love to tee you up first because you've got some fantastic wins of the week to share with us. Would you kick us off for your wins of the week now?
Thank you. And I got to write 4 offers and in one day, and 3 of them were Zillow leads, but they're not new. One of them I got last year, and one of them a Zillow home lender got me. What, Dan?
Was this 4 different clients?
Mm-hmm.
Four different clients in one day.
Yeah,
So not four offers for one client, four different clients in one day.
it
Amazing.
was
Continue, continue.
awesome. I got one accepted and I'm waiting to hear back from two. And so, and then the other one didn't get accepted, but that one was my sphere. So yeah, I'm working really hard, just like all of us here, and let's just stay strong and keep going.
I love it. I love it. So, Kelly, would you tell us about those three clients? Because you said none of those are new people. These are ones that you've been nurturing for a while. Tell us about what that process has looked like from that initial phone call to earning their business to getting them to the point where they're submitting offers now. What's that flow looks like for each of these clients?
I just remind them that I can get the job done and I hit them up regularly, different ways, like we all learn and do. And then I just remind them that I'm here and they reach out.
So the simple, straightforward approach. So do you have them all set up on Real Scout, or how are you getting properties in front of them and keeping them engaged over time?
Some, yes, Real Scout for sure. And then I definitely sometimes need to message them, hey, did you guys see this house? Did you see this house? Let's write an offer. I let them know I'm in 5 escrows and that I'm ready to help them right now. I might be a little aggressive about it.
So, so you're specifically calling out some of the homes, even though they're automatically going out through Real Scout. If you see one that it sounds like really fits what they're looking for, you're like sending that through text or through email or through phone and saying like, "Hey, did you see this one?" So the
Especially
ones,
if I know what they want and that they're motivated to
so the
get
ones that they submitted offers on, were those ones that you kind of pushed them on?
one guy specifically, the other one sent it to me and then asked me what I thought. We went to go see it. And then the other one, we went to see a bunch of homes. So,
Got the full variety. Got the full variety. I love it, but that's you get all of those opportunities because you're hitting them in multiple different ways. You're doing specific outreach, you're doing automated outreach, and you're letting them know, hey, no question is too small. Come to me if you've got properties you want to look at, whatever. Amazing. Kelly, we will all be holding you in our thoughts for those other two outstanding offers. Actually, I'd love to hear too on those four offers that you submitted. What's the market pulse like? Were they over asking? Were they under asking? What was your strategy for some of those offers?
yeah, so each of the markets were each different. And so two of them were over by 10,000. And then the other market was in Stockton. So that market's very different. And you're able to get closing costs or different things. And then the other one is a condo in Oakland that's been sitting for a while. So we did go over a little, but we went over only 5K on that one, but we're
Hmm.
asking 10K closing costs. So I don't know, we'll see what happens with that one, but it's been sitting and it's like a hoarder house. That one's insane. And it was scary when I went in because I was like, it looks like someone lived in there, but it says on there that, no one lives here and that the house is going to be sold with all the contents inside. So,
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that sounds like you get a pretty good shot at that because no one
well,
really
I
wants to deal
hope.
with a hoarder house. Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Kelly, thank you. Thank you for the contribution. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, who else? Anyone else have wins for the last week? Yes, Mama San, what do we got?
Oh, sorry. I don't know how to use this. Actually handing keys over to a Zillow client today. We closed a few days ago. I got him, I know he likes scotch, so I got him a Macallan 12 bottle of whiskey. And actually, I want to also recommend too, this is a great time to get reviews from your Zillow or any of your buyers anytime you close. I have something set up on high note where it's just it's a little page where you can go to and it has the Google link and the Zillow link and a little slurb like, hey, it would be great for you to leave a review for me, and this is a great time to send it to your clients is day of closing or day after, so you get those reviews in because those help our pages.
Big time. Big time. And actually, for the rest of the group, How do all of you ask for reviews, like getting the Zillow reviews, getting your Google reviews? How are you making that ask, and what sites are you pushing people towards or encouraging them to give you reviews for? George, what do you got?
Yeah, so I actually have a TC that actually sends out an email to all of my clients when we're kind of toward the end or right when we close. And so along with the email after closing, my TC will send that with all of my links, like giving them all of the links to how to set up like their PG&E, their garbage, and all of that. So it's kind of like a compact info of email or email with info. And then actually, I was talking to my coach, and she made a great suggestion on actually doing it before closing. So I've actually now instructed my TC to actually go ahead and send the clients my links for reviews once their offer gets accepted on the buyer side, and then on the seller side once they get into contract. And the reason why she told me to do it that way is because she's like, they're fucking happy, they're excited. She's like, so
Mm.
they're more inclined to write you the best damn review versus when you close. She's like, then you're going to be emailing them and it's just going to get lost and they're going to be overwhelmed because they're moving or whatever they have going on in their life. And when she told me that at first, I'm not going to lie, I was like, that sounds dumb. They're going to forget. And what if they fall out of
Yeah.
contract? They're going to delete the review. But she was like, no, they're excited, they're pumped, and you just did the best damn thing for them. So that's the best time. And I guess that's what her and her team do too. So that's actually something I talked to my TC about just doing that now when clients get into contract and I connect them.
That's amazing. I love that. Does anyone else send out the reviews before closing? And I like that you're like talking about it, doing it when emotions are highest. Glenn, yeah, you do it before closing as well. At what point in the transaction do you do yours? Thank you,
Yeah,
George.
so
That was great.
so I usually do it in our last 10 days, right? So I try to pinpoint when those last 10 days are happening. And then it can become part of my conversation, right? Just to prepare you for what's next. Oh, by the way, did you receive the email that I sent out to you in regards to my review? Oh, yeah, sure. I was just getting ready to leave you the review. Great. So fill out the review, and then here's what come next. It just allows me to continue that conversation. I found that when it was post-close, I didn't really have an excuse to talk to them on a regular cadence. So at least this way, it gives me the opportunity to have those conversations. Drop those hints as we go through our normal conversations.
That's fantastic. That's such a good point too, is like you can bring it up in the flow and you can even bring it up a couple of times during the transaction because you're talking about so much. It's like, oh, I hope this didn't get lost in the shuffle, but like it'd be
Yep.
super meaningful for me, et cetera, et cetera. Um, yeah, and I'm glad we're having this conversation too, because Zillow for all of you should be a springboard, right? In 2 or 3 or 4 years, I hope all of you have graduated past Zillow Flex and have a business base that's so rich from all the deals that you've gotten from this that you can now do enough Sphere and personal deals that you don't need Flex as much anymore. Or maybe it's just a much smaller component of your business. And a big part of that is integrating the reviews and the referrals as part of your closing process for your Flex deals rigorously, because that's what will help grow and build and scale your business, is using this as a springboard into additional business, friends and family, repeat referral business, that sort of stuff. Um, George said something else in there that I'd love to know if anyone else is doing. Does anyone else have their TC as part of their template, as part of your templated process, send out review requests? Is anyone else doing that? Glenn,
I
I see you nodding
do.
your
So
head.
yeah,
Hmm.
so my marketing partner sends out a 5-star review. So I personally invite them to leave me a Google review, but on my website, I've got a 5-star review process that hits on certain measurements for me, right? Did I provide the service that you were expecting? What can I do to improve? Right. So yeah, I have someone else that follows up. So they get it twice, right? So they get from me directly asking for a Google review. And then once we have closed, my marketing partner goes in and asks for that.
Hmm. You said 5-star review? What's that?
Yeah, that's
I don't know what that is.
it's what they call it. So it's a 5-star review. So it's give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, and it's what goes on my website. So it hits specific measurements that we've identified together that I'm looking to achieve in transaction process.
Got it. Got it. Okay, that's good to know. I've not heard of that. Kevin makes a good point in the chat as well, that if you're asking for Zillow reviews, they sync the transaction against the MLS record. So I believe Kevin, I haven't double checked on this, but it sounds right that the deal has to be closed before your Zillow review will get approved. You can still ask for it and get that verbiage in.
Yeah, I would just tell
Really.
them to, sorry, I would just tell them
Yeah.
to just copy and paste it once they're done if they haven't yet. But I've gotten a lot of just direct buyers contact me because of the reviews and some sellers too. So I think Zillow is a pretty strong platform to have it on there.
Yeah, and say that again. You said you've gotten referrals direct from Zillow with no referral fee on that, I assume, right?
Yeah, I'm not paying Zillow on that.
Yeah, because of your Zillow profile.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So we should be pushing as many of our customers to leave reviews on Zillow because they're already familiar with that platform. They already have profiles created. They were interacting with it, and it's the #1 search site. So, like Kevin said, you can get Zillow referrals if they inquire directly on your profile. There's no referral fee on that, right? And that's the way to level this up for your business. George, I see your hand still up. Is that a new question or an old or new contribution or old one?
Oh, sorry, it was an old one.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Anyone have any other wins of the week that they want to share? That was fantastic. Andre, I appreciate you sharing that one for the closing. Any other wins for the week? We had a couple other people get deals in contract, but I don't see them in here today. So unless we got anything else, we'll
Hey
keep
Dan,
rolling.
I can go ahead real
Yes.
quick.
Yeah, please.
I'm riding with 2 flex buyers right now. I have basically 2 offers out with each of them. So yeah, just fingers crossed. May get outbid on one. It's in San Francisco, my first San Francisco deal, but market's a little crazy over there right now. But
Hmm.
got a listing out of them as well. So just pushing forward, and I actually got them to the Home Light buy and sell program. So that's also another win there. But yeah, definitely being staying busy with some of these flex leads and
Amazing.
shooting for getting them in a contract pretty soon.
I love it. All right, Michael, a couple questions for you. You said that this one's competitive. One, how did you get them excited enough to want to submit an offer in a competitive market? Because I know sometimes the buyers can get discouraged if they're seeing properties going under contract really fast. Was there any like
Yeah.
leverage or persuasion that you used to get them to submit?
They just really, really loved the property. They were so motivated because of the layout of the property and just how much they really liked it. So the house basically sold itself. Um, and
You just
just
got out of the way and were like, let's just do it.
yeah,
Don't
exactly,
stop
yeah.
stop selling and start writing offers.
Yep, and just pushed them to use the home life, advantage to potentially, yeah, get the equity unlocked from their current place, and making that happen for them being able to capture 20% of their current home's value, essentially, was a big step forward in getting their, down payment and making it realistic for them. So,
Amazing, amazing. And
yeah.
follow-up question for that. Um, you said that there's a chance that this offer might not get accepted. What has the conversation been like with them to prepare them for if their offer does get rejected so that they don't get discouraged and, oh, we never mind, this isn't home buying is not for us.
Definitely. It really comes down to the comps and, the comps basically down the street and up the street, they're going for much higher. And so, I mentioned that, hey, this home is, so nice that, we'll most likely have some competition. I would suggest us going at our highest and best. And I basically, was able to really stretch to their highest and got them to that point to where any dollar more is going to be too uncomfortable for them to be able to go higher. We got a seller multiple counter offer at 142, but they're kind of maxed out at basically 1.35. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. Hopefully we're about in the middle of 5 other offers in that middle range. We have really strong terms, fully non-contingent, and a 21-day close. So our terms are good. It just comes down to price. Basically, this house was flipped by the current developer, so they want to maximize as much as possible, and just really showing them the comps that, hey, these homes are going for between 145 and 1.5. One up the street went for 156. So difference in lot square footage and everything like that. Just really showed them the
Yeah.
differences between the homes and just, put everything in a realistic manner for them. That way, if they did, not get their offer accepted, they wouldn't be let down and discouraged, you know. So
They have realistic expectations. That's
yep,
great, and hopefully you're showing them that there's other properties out there, that if this one doesn't work out, there's other options, and that's not the only place that could be available for them.
exactly.
Michael, congratulations. I really hope those offers work out for you, and it
Thank you,
sounds like you
thank
got
you
some really great momentum going.
for
And when
sure.
that listing does get a little further along, I'd love for you to share it with the group, maybe at a later conversion clinic here, so you can test the market. Carla, I see your hand up there. I know you're submitting some offers. You got like a 12 o'clock deadline today, so I appreciate the multitasking. Why don't you tell us about I assume that's what you're sharing on.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. Yeah, I'm writing an offer in San Francisco as well, from Zillow. And I met those clients like, I would say like a couple of months ago. And then we start touring in Pacific Heights. They want to put an offer on Diamond neighborhood. But I've been having a little bit of troubles with their lender. So I introduced them to my lender, but somehow they were taking too long to submit the documents. And finally, I got the pre-approval a couple of days ago, but then at the same time, they already had one from their banker. And they decided to go with them. But I've been having a hard time to get a hold from that lender. So I didn't get any numbers until just now. And I keep telling them, I was telling them that's not good, because communication is very important. And, we work as a team. And, that's not a good start if the lender is lacking and not giving me the information that I need. So, but anyways, we're gonna make it happen. I'm
Excellent.
gonna finish
Well,
doing
I'd love to throw this out to the group because I know I've certainly been there, and I'm sure most of us have been there too, where your client comes, you're like, oh, don't worry about it. I got my pre-approval with Wells Fargo or, Bank of America or whatever, one of these big box banks that's, 9 to 5 Eastern time or whatever it is. How do you have the conversation with your clients to encourage them to get a second opinion from maybe a local mortgage broker or a lender that you have worked with that you know is responsive and is going to be communicative and do all of these things that we know is important, but the client might not know is important because they feel like, oh, I've been depositing my money with Wells Fargo for 20 years, so like they're going to be my best bet. How do you pitch that to your client and bring that point up? How does everyone else bring that up?
Well, what I said to them was that this lender, it's very responsive, and that's very important in a transaction. And then also he can close in a short period of time, which is very attractive for offers, because sometimes they will pick not necessarily the highest offer, but the one with better terms. And if he can close in 8 to 10 days, that's very competitive. It's kind of like competing with cash offers. And like things like that, that also they are available at any times, not necessarily from 9 to 5. They're available over the weekends or late hours, which this lender that I introduced them, he's being very like accommodating their time, like having meetings over the phone or via Zoom at 9 p.m. just because the clients had dinner or something like that. So that's something good. And I don't know why they still didn't listen, and they decided to go with their JP Morgan, that it's not getting back to me.
Otis, I saw your hand up. How do you have this conversation?
I usually have the reassurance them about communication. I ask them, how are your personal views and outlook on the bank? Like when you go there, or even when you call, do you find yourself being on the phone for a long period of time? Do you feel like their customer service is up to par? Although I know you feel the comfortability of them holding your money, on the business side, this is just my personal experience. Every time I've worked with a big bank, I don't meet my deadlines. it's hard to get in contact with your direct lender. I have to go through channels. And on my end, things could go as fast as needing something within 20 minutes, an hour. And sometimes it's going to take me that amount of time just to get to them. So I do work for you, Dan. At the end of the day, I don't mind who we use, but just particularly, I find out the private lenders, they not only do they have more to offer, in certain cases with programs and trying to vie for your business. Why don't we see if we put them in a fight? Let's get them in a 12-round bout. Let's see who has the best, services and what suits best fits you. If it's the bank, we'll go with the bank. If it's one of the people I referred to you or one of the people that you think that you would like to work with on your own, outside of my scope, like I'm totally down for it. But just my opinion, they treat you like a deli number and not really like a person that needs help right away. So, you know, that's how I
I
kind of get down.
I like that. I really like that. They treat you like a deli number. I like the question asking too. Like, how has the customer service been? How quickly can you get someone on the line when you need to? How has it been though over these years communicating with them? Those really good, Otis. Thank you. Glenn, what do you got?
I ask them, do you buy bananas? And
I do.
if they say yes, then I say, do you just walk up and grab a bunch of bananas, or do you look through the bananas? Do you have a preference of green bananas or bruised bananas? So you wouldn't necessarily. So if they say no, then I move on to avocados or tomatoes or grapes or whatever it is that they're going to tell me that they eat. So why would you choose the very first lender that you have always been with and that you've had experience with? Why not test out two or three, see which bunch of bananas works better?
I like it. I like it. A bunch of bananas, right? Maybe they do like the overripe ones. But it's good to check and look around. I love it. I love the metaphor. All right. Um, Ronnie, submitting an offer later today in San Francisco. Good luck, Ronnie. I love it. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Thank you, everyone, for your contributions. Congratulations for these wins of the week. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because we got a few more updates to go through here for our Flex program. So, where'd we go? Okay, we've brought this up. We've mentioned this. I think several times. Sneak peeks that our Bay Area market is going to be transitioning into an enhanced market for the Zillow program. We're going to have a deeper relationship with Zillow Home Loans. Well, that is officially happening coming in July. The Bay Area as a whole, all of the Zillow Flex markets are going to turn into what's known as an enhanced market. So that's going to have some big advantages for us as a team. It's going to have a few shifts in terms of our expectations, our partnership with Zillow, what that's going to look like. I've got a video that I'll bring up here in just a moment, but some of the key highlights of what this is going to look like for us as a team transitioning from a regular market to an enhanced market. First, Zillow co-branding will be available. I'm going to share a video of what this is going to look like, and I will also share in the Slack channel a link to a demo, a live training. I think it's June 18th, and then there's another one, maybe June 19th, where they're going to go through and you all are going to get access to a marketing center where you can actually co-brand yourself now with all of the marketing materials you want with the Zillow logo on it. So you can borrow the brand reputation of largest real estate brand on the planet and put your face and your name and your number next to the Zillow brand and Zillow approved marketing materials. A way that they accomplish that is a deeper partnership with Zillow Home Loans. So that's going to be a big part of the enhanced market is that we will have a deeper partnership with the Zillow Home Loans programs. Technically, it's co-branding with a lender. They'll explain more details about that, but the important thing is that we get to leverage in a much more substantial way the branding of Zillow in your own personal marketing as well. Open house flyers, social media posts, just one pagers for clients, all sorts of stuff. They've got thousands and thousands of things designed by big professional branding teams. Like I mentioned too, we're going to have a deeper partnership with Zillow Home Loans. That's a big part of the enhanced market. Zillow is working on kind of having this seamless all-in-one one-stop shop for home buying. And they want a big part of that to be the home loans program. So they've been investing deeply, deeply, deeply in their home loans program. Once we launch as an enhanced market, we will get in a team of dedicated Zillow home loan advisors that are going to be for the Bay Area market. I think there's like 6 or 8 different loan officers that are going to be working with us as a team. They're going to integrate directly in Follow Up Boss, so be able to log communications back and forth. see much greater detail about customers and their loan approval process, what that all is looking like. So have a greater level of communication with the home loan part of consumers going through. Well, a big part of that goal too is to get more pre-approved buyers to us so that when we get connection leads, they've gone through the Zillow Home Loans program and they're already pre-approved with ZHL. A couple things about this. So first, if you didn't see a calendar invite, we did a change up in the live in person, our next all hands for the Flex team. So it was going to be June 26th. Our Zillow rep is going to be coming out, and so we're shifting that to June 10th. So that's 2 weeks from now. We'll be together in the Oakland office, and we're going to have our Zillow rep, but then also the loan officer from Zillow Home Loans that's responsible for managing the whole Bay Area market. And they're going to give us a whole in-service on the Zillow Home Loans program. Because again, with an enhanced market, a big part of that for our accountability is going to be to leverage Zillow Home Loans even further. And to work more closely with the Zillow Home Loans loan officers. So what this will also lead to is more lead opportunities. When Zillow makes this transition to an enhanced market, part of what they're doing too is they're cutting back from the market-based pricing. That is the people who are going on Zillow and who are buying advertising outside of the Flex program. When they move to enhanced markets, they reduce the amount of leads that are going to those paid advertising, and they shift that towards the Zillow Flex program. So that means that we will have more lead opportunities as we transition into this enhanced market. That also means that our accountability standards are going to incorporate that Zillow Home Loans piece, and they're going to be looking at that as part of our bigger picture. So just sneak peek, in 2 months, expect for us to be talking a lot more about Zillow Home Loans and our ability to introduce the lender, bring them into the conversation. And if you guys have questions about that now, happy to answer those. June 10th in the office in Oakland, we're going to go through a lot more detail on that with our Zillow Home Loans rep, and they're going to give us a lot of information about that. We'll also have a couple of Zillow Academy courses. I know some of you, I think the whole Stockton team went through the Zillow Home Loans courses, but we'll have everyone go through that so that you're really well trained on knowing how to use this to leverage more deals with our clients, right? And that's the whole goal of this, is to convert more leads, to make the loan process a lot easier, and to make us a lot more sticky as their agent, because we're integrated into that seamless transaction that Zillow is building. Yeah, and this final piece, just more responsibility for connecting consumers to Zillow Home Loans. That is going to be an accountability standard that Zillow holds us accountable to, is how many consumers we're introducing to the Zillow Home Loans loan officer. Yes, Lisa, question, what do you got?
So I introduced a buyer to a Zillow lender, and we got no response for several days. So then I wound up switching them to, one of my preferred lenders. And then the Zillow person reached out, but it was extremely delayed. So what do we do with a situation like that?
I think the first thing is report that back to our dedicated loan manager, right? If we have delays, we will be holding Zillow accountable to the standards that are required for our market, right? So we know that we need 4 to 8 hour turnaround from lenders most days of the week. And if Zillow can't deliver on that, like we can't lose offers for the loan, right? So that's not something that is acceptable for us as a team. And by having our dedicated market manager, we can hold them to high standards as well. So in that situation on June 10th, I'd encourage you to bring that up to Allie is her name, who will be coming out and presenting. The second thing on that too is we are not required to get our customers to use Zillow Home Loans. The accountability standard that Zillow holds us to is connecting the customer to Zillow Home Loans. That's it. Zillow is responsible for earning the business. If they don't make the follow-up call, if they don't reach out, if they don't have good terms, if they can't outcompete another lender, that's not a responsibility. All that we're responsible for is making sure that introduction happens, right? So you did your part, you created the opportunity, you sent the introduction. If they don't pick up that ball and you had an offer to write, give them another choice. That's totally fine. Okay, in the chat, Ronnie says, you have a Zillow Home Loans contact, and she's good. Yeah, these loan officers they're commission-based, just like regular lenders. So if they're not closing deals, they're not getting paid. They're not just, salaried agents sitting back and just waiting for deals to come through their way. Glenn says you had an amazing experience with Sherry Ann from ZHL. Oh, and I see your hand up, Glenn. Yeah, would you share about that?
Yeah, so I have used Cherry Ann, who's Zillow Home Loans, to close a couple of Zillow deals that I actually got from them. So she answers her phones on the weekends and late nights. And she always takes my calls, and she works very, very quickly. So I know that sometimes when you're just throwing it into the pond to figure out if someone can come back, that we might see a slower response. But once you establish a relationship with someone on the home loan side, they really love to take care of us. So
Yes, exactly. And I think that's a great way to look at it is we'll have a handful of agents that are dedicated Zillow Home Loans. You'll be able to see who's on and who's off at any given time through Follow Up Boss. And I would encourage all of you to develop a relationship with the individual agents. If you got someone who does really good by you and you have great communication with, absolutely use them as as your main point of contact. Jeff, I see your hand up. What do you got?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, so if we do start to make a relationship where we are cool with one of them, is it gonna be like, because some right now they're just coming through randomly and they're coming through random lenders from Zillow. Will we be able to like make the switch, or will that be like stepping on toes? Just because, me and Samandi had one that was not okay. They didn't get back to us. They pretty much tried to undercut our client just because she had lost some purchasing power. She pretty much just like decided not to give a shit about her. And then the one that I'm closing right now with the Zillow Home Loans, like he's a nice guy. He's just too passive for our market, in all honesty. So like I personally wouldn't. I understand if I had to close with him again, but I wouldn't want to send him again personally.
Mhm.
So is it going to be one of those things where like, all right, if Glenn says, hey, no, she closes, she does everything like a regular lender, like she's gonna earn your trust. If we start getting these, can we just be like, we really like to work with her, or is it going to be some type of pushback?
Uh, so first, bring that question on June 10th because I'm 95% sure of the answer to this, but that is a great, great, great question to ask Allie, our Zillow Home Loans manager, who's going to be coming through to explain how all this works. But I'm pretty sure the answer of that is you can absolutely pick the person who you think will do best by your client. And if there's one Zillow Home Loan officer that you don't want to send business to, you don't have to. And let me share my screen. I'm just going to show you all real quick. If you haven't gotten in and seen this yet,
and the
um,
transfer is so easy.
mhm.
Like I love the process of transferring over to a Zillow Home Loans officer. So it is
do you
super easy.
do you use Follow Up Boss for that?
Um, I haven't tried it through Follow Up Boss. I've done it through the Zillow, through the Premier Agent app on my phone.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, there's a super easy on the Premier Agent app. It's like a one-click thing. It's very similar to this, what I was going to show all of you. If you get into your Follow Up Boss, there's this button here. If you haven't seen this yet, in your client details under lender, it just says transfer to Zillow Home Loans. And this exists for all of your Zillow clients. So you just hit transfer and you can see these four people are showing up right now because these people are active right now today. So you can click, let's say, we want this to go to, you're like, all right, I really like Daniel or Nadia or Sue. You click any of these people and it'll give you this transfer and you can tell them like, this person is ready to go and hit the continue button and just transfer it through to them. Or you can just call them or you can email them. So they make it really, really, really easy to just seamlessly transfer this client. And then the lender can see all of your interactions in Follow Up Boss as well, so that you get really, really clear, seamless communication. So that's our whole goal is really trying to make this very, very seamless. I'm glad several of you have had experience with Zillow Home Loans, and it sounds like most of those experiences have been positive. And if you get someone who's not a great lender, like you just go to a different one. Shouldn't be a big deal. Um, okay, let me just share real quick a video with everyone, because I think this will be a really interesting tool that we'll have access to as well as part of this enhanced market. So this is the Zillow branded marketing site. June 18th, I'm going to share this in Slack. They're doing an hour-long demo on how to use this. This is exclusive to Zillow partner agents and exclusive to enhanced markets as well. So let me just make sure. You don't need audio. All right, Ronnie, I'm glad you think that's nice because I think it's going to be a really powerful asset for everyone to be able to enhance your branding. If you saw on there in the signature line for all of these, it said Zillow partner agent, right? So we'll be able to have Zillow approved branding, templates, messaging for your emails, for everything that has that Zillow partner agent logo direct from Zillow, which is huge. Again, you're leveraging the branding of the largest real estate site on the planet. So I will drop that in Slack. Keep an eye out in the Slack channel for the invite link to that. I'm going to be going to that on June. I'm pretty sure it's June 18th at 9 a.m. But I'd encourage everyone to go to learn how to use this marketing tool because you should be leveraging this for all of your clients, not just your Zillow clients. Okay. All right. Last but not least, I'm going to leave us with some final thoughts. And then next week when we come together, we're going to dive deep on this. But we are going through more on the same theme of moving people down funnel because we've got some really awesome progress this month. And I think some really good opportunities for how we can continue moving this forward. So month of May, so far, 212 connections that have come through. I actually think it might be closer to 250. That's what it's showing on Zillow, but Follow Boss is showing 212. So we'll use the lower number and be more conservative on this. I want to give kudos to everyone for the month of May because already of those 212 connections, 4 of those people are submitting offers. 1 of them is under contract, and 1 of them is closed already for a lead that's come through in the month of May. So we're seeing really good traction for the leads that are coming through in terms of offers, deals, and closings for May. For the month of May, also, you guys have run 72 appointments according to run appointments with 72 different clients according to the stats that are in Zillow. So there's a huge amount of business that's coming in, opportunities, people you're getting face to face with. The opportunity that we see, though, why Vernon and I are focused on this and we want to really keep working on this bottom funnel metric. We are at right now a 29% appointment met rate. We're meeting with 29% of the connections that come through from Zillow. The Zillow standard, what they're seeing across teams, the best practice teams across the country, the people who are really, really crushing it, where we want to continue to be because we are crushing it right now, is a 45% appointment met rate. That's where we could be. And that means an extra 25 appointments, 24 appointments each month based on the leads that we're getting. Right? We're at 72 clients that we have met face to face with, but we could be at or above 96. Right? So that is the opportunity that we want to be focusing on. I want you all to be looking at and to be thinking about how do I move people from spoke with or appointment set to appointment met. And right now, there's 43 people sitting in Follow Boss right now who are in appointment set stage. And the appointment date has passed and they've not been moved to appointment met. That is, you booked the appointment, but did not get face to face with them. And so these are the opportunities that we're going to be focusing on. And I'd love to share in the last few minutes here, who of you in the room in this last month has booked an appointment with someone, that appointment date passed, and you did not get face-to-face with them? Anyone want to bravely share what that situation was and what happened? Tim, I see your hand up. Yeah, why don't you jump on the mic? Share with us what happened in that situation.
Hey, yeah. So this was somebody wanted to see a BMR home in South San Francisco. I think it's the only one in South San Francisco. It's like a series of townhomes, 8 units, and built like this year. So I've been showing that property a couple times now, and then he actually apparently just like his son was just born, so he just became a dad like 2 days before, and then he was calling me, I guess at the time he was in the hospital still. And then I didn't know that.
That's like a client for life right there. Like,
Yeah, it's so
calling you from
crazy.
the hospital.
Anyways, he tried really hard to make the appointment, and ended up sending his brother and his dad to come look at the house instead. And then I told him, because there was like a application deadline, it was on the 20th, and he was calling on like the 18th or 19th. So I sent him as much information as I could. I sent him my lender, just everything, and then told him to do as much as he can, so that you can get the application in. I met up with his family, showed the house, and then I tried to keep following up with him after that, but it's kind of been radio silent. I get he's busy with the kids and all that. But he did talk to the lender. They had a long conversation, and he ended up getting started on all the applications, but he never finished his pre-approval. So that's where we're at right now with him.
It's got things going on. Understandable.
Yeah.
First off, I would say that should be appointment met because you met with a representative of that client. You met with the family members, right?
Okay, yeah.
Count that for yourself, that you met with someone in their sphere who's helping them to buy that house. So give yourself credit for that. For the rest of the group, Tim, so you booked the appointment, haven't met with the client. What can Tim do to keep this person in his ecosystem so that when he does get his head above water from being a new father, and they decide they want to buy, they make sure to go to Tim? To the group, what are some things that Tim could do to recapture this face-to-face appointment opportunity in the future? And Lisa, I see your hand up. I think that's for a different story, but anyone else, ideas? What can Tim do to secure this appointment in the future for this client?
Send them congratulations about their new baby.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right. Make it about the baby. Don't make
Yeah.
it just about the house right now.
Yep.
Good. What else?
What are some nice things to say other than congrats on being a father?
Get a card, find out their address, tell them I have a little something I'd like to send. I'm not lying. Get as much information on them as you can. Get their address. I'd love to send you a little something. I'm so happy for you. Tim, are you a dad?
No.
All right. I cannot wait until the day that I get to be a father. I just wanted to send, congratulations, and I look forward in supporting you in your future journey.
All right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Jeff, would you tell us more? And Glenn, thank you. That's really good. Jeff, what's the Wonder Weeks app?
So it's an app that I used personally when Zay was born, and we used. So basically, it pretty much tells you like where your baby's at in each weeks that they're in. So a lot of times you're like, all right, we just got into a rhythm with putting them down to sleep. And then the next week, it's like, holy shit, that rhythm is completely gone. But then the Wonder Weeks will tell you like, yeah, expect that this week the baby isn't going to be able to sleep because their brain is getting new cognitive things that blah, blah, blah happens. And so if you are seeing sleep regression or this or that, expect it. So it's a lot easier when you're going through the journey of being a new parent with some certain level of expectation. So that's one app that I always suggest to people. Like we personally used it. It gave us some good insight on like why Zay wasn't sleeping or why he was throwing a little more tantrums or why he was sleeping, right? Those type of things. So it just helps create a personable relationship. So Tim, I would tell you, just be, since you don't have a kid, you can be like, yeah, my team, they suggested, or a friend of mine said that they used this app for their kid. I thought it would be something. Another one, you can send them the Expectant Father. That's a PDF on I don't know what is it called, Audible. Yeah. So on Audible, The Expectant Father, send them that. That's another good one. But like, I think right now, what Glenn said is true. Being able to send him something that is not about the house, not about anything else, but about this major milestone in his life, even though you say, hey, man, I don't really know about it because I haven't gone through it. You've got you're a person and you know what it would feel like to maybe be in that feeling. So make it more about that. And then that's how they're going to call you like, bro, it was so crazy. Yeah. And then you'll have things to talk about too when they do come back. That makes it way easier because you'll have something to talk about. Like, bro, how has it been? Like, are they sleeping? What's going on? Are they finally getting food? Blah, blah, blah. You'll have something to talk about compared to like, oh, hey, just checking in.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
that's
Thank you, everyone.
fantastic, Jeff. And I'd wonder too for the Wonder Weeks app, if that's a paid subscription, Tim, could you get them like, 3 months or something like that as a new family? If it's like, I don't know,
That
$5 a month or 10
Yeah.
bucks
That's
a
what I
month or
was
something,
gonna
can you
say.
gift
I would
it?
say you could say like, hey, just wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's $5.99. So you just send them like $15. You're like, hey bro, I wanted to send this over to you as a gift. It's the Wonder Weeks. Here's your first 3 months on me. Boom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to send the picture I have for it.
That's amazing. And Vanessa says send a gift card for
Yeah,
DoorDash, something like that. Not having to cook with a newborn is lovely. Yeah,
for sure.
right. I love this. Just focus on the thing that's going to be the biggest in their mind right now. Home buying is not on their radar at this moment.
Yeah.
So just like be the person that's there for them so that when they, a month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever it is, Kevin says get him a puppy. I love it. The puppy and the baby can just take care of each other. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Then they can just go on vacation and leave the puppy to take care of the baby. I think that's
Yeah.
how that works, right?
I love all the parents on the team chipping in. You know, it's yeah, there's so many things you can do to help out and make their life a bit easier. So yeah, thank you everyone for the ideas.
Perfect. Tim, thank you. Thank you for that. Lisa, rapid fire. We got 3 minutes here. I'd love to hear your story, and then we'll bring this to a wrap here and get everyone on their way.
Yeah, so I spoke with a person. The appointment was set, and then they couldn't make it. It was a busy weekend for them. We have a follow-up appointment in a couple days. So that's, appointment set, not met.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you recovered the appointment though. So you booked it for a couple days from now.
Yeah.
How did you accomplish that? Because that's not something that's easy to do or always happens.
I got on the phone, chatted with her, kind of found out. So she canceled too because she's not in a huge rush. She's a few months out. She has some stuff to finish up with the lender. So she's getting all that in alignment. And I just, she purchased a home out of state a couple years, maybe like 5-6 years ago. So I just congratulated her on that investment, and now she's trying to buy a condo in the Bay.
Nice.
Yeah.
With the last couple seconds that we've got here, an option for that too, and this can go either way. A video tour, if someone doesn't, can't make the appointment, especially if it's near to you, just saying like, hey, let me just pop out. I'm gonna take a video of this property real quick for you. And or booking a buyer's consultation as a follow-up as well are really viable options for that too. But I'm really glad that you were able to reschedule it, because that's the best case scenario for that. Okay, so look forward to more of this. I love this masterminding. We shared some great insights for Tim's situation. I want to hear more of this for all of us. So if you've got clients that you spoke with and you want to book an appointment, or you booked an appointment and you want to meet them face to face, or you met them face to face and you want to go from one appointment to 2 appointments to 3 appointments to offers, think of those. Bring those to this clinic, because that is what we're going to be focusing on. Mid-funnel, bottom funnel. How do we squeeze more juice out of the leads that we're getting and the people that are coming through? With that, I will leave you all. Thank you for your time, your attention, your engagement. We will see you next week, and have a wonderful weekend.